Hello and welcome to another episode of the IIA podcast. Today we have with us Shanai Ghosh, MD and CEO, Edelweiss General Insurance Company, India. Shanai, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nilanjan. Pleasure to be on the show.
Okay, great. So we would like to start by knowing a little bit about you and Edelweiss General.
I have spent a lot of time in insurance, but I started my career in banking, so financial services. And a little bit about my organization. Three things distinguish us, we believe. One is our focus is customer experience. So for us, NPS has been ingrained in our processes right from day one, even when our processes weren't stable, so that we know where we are going wrong. Innovation is our calling card. So, most of our products, we try and think of something new where we can create meaningful value for customers. And the third is our entire business model is digital. For us, digital is not a business channel. It's not an acquisition route, and it's an entire way of doing business, because that what fully maximizes the potential of digital.
So let me get into delving a little more deep into some of the work that you're doing and some of the some of the things that are happening in the market, like pay as you go. So there's a lot of work happening there. What's your thoughts on that segment of insurance?
Like I told you, we started investing in this space about 2 years ago at the height of the pandemic. That was a time when we brainstormed internally to try and find out what are the gaps in the market. We felt that there were a lot of people who were not using their cars every day. Okay. And even before the pandemic, you were traveling, or, a lot of shared cabs were being used. So we said, why not come up with a product which allows people to pay based on usage? And this on-demand, switch on, switch off kind of behavior is there amongst millennials and Gen Z. So, it's like, if I'm not using it, I shouldn't pay for it. But if I am, I should be able to switch it on in an instant. So that was a thought, and we created our product called Switch, which at that point of time allowed you to switch off the insurance. And this really worked for us, although we could only pilot it. And we learned a lot of things. It was a journey that we learned. We assumed that, older drivers or experienced drivers actually would be better than newer drivers, but we found quite to the contrary. Newer drivers are far more careful, and older drivers are probably a little overconfident. So there were a lot of these things that we found. We tested a lot of hypotheses. And we learned a lot of stuff, which we implemented in Switch 2.0. First, our tagline was "Don't use, don't pay." And now our tagline is "Drive less, pay less, drive better, pay less." So in the second version, we've integrated telematics, and telematics tells us how every journey that you take, how you drive, and based on that score, you get a certain discount or whatever. And what's interesting is our product is a subscription-based product. So you don't pay upfront. You pay sort of an upfront deposit, and then every month, depending on how much you've driven and how well you've driven, an amount gets debited to your debit or credit card, as the case may be. And yes, it's been very fortunate that in July, after we launched, the regulator has brought out guidelines that allow us to launch it mainline and not just as a pilot. So for us, Switch is a platform of on-demand insurance, and we've already launched Switch 2.0. We have launched an add-on, which is Pay As You Drive, which is a kilometer-based product add-on. And now we are very soon going to launch a Pay How You Drive, and we have at least 3-4 more products, slated for launch, because there is a highly commoditized product. If you want people to engage more, you need to give them more power and control over what they pay and how they pay. So this is our, attempt to do that. And the other thing is, we believe that if you connect driving behavior with an incentive, which is higher or lower premium, it builds it brings it top of mind for customers, and hopefully it encourages customers to drive better. In fact, we've studied, case studies from across the world where they have launched such programs. And over time, they have seen that the entire set of customers has improved in their driving scores and generally has had better driving experience and better safety record. So the product, we believe, also promotes better safety record. In fact, interestingly, quick anecdote, one of my colleagues was kind of going down and having tea at one of the stalls that you have by the tea side, and he showed the beta app to a cop. And the cop was so excited. He said, "Why don't you give this to us? We will make sure all people install it so that, people know how they're driving. And this app tells you with each drive where you went wrong." So this is just the beginning. We have many ideas around what we can do with this, and we're very excited.
No, I think this is all enlightening. In fact, what you are saying makes me believe, and I think it's for all of us to understand that as a company, Edelweiss General, you have embodied the true spirit of being a tech digital first company. So to say, we would like to say that probably you are one of the first fully integrated insurtech insurer in the country. So that's great, and I think pay as you drive, pay how you drive, and the way you talked about how it's going to ultimately help lower premiums and enhance the customer value proposition and the willingness to buy and stay insured. I think is great. So that really brings me to my last question, and that last question is more around. What are some of the future trends that you see in this space, and how is technology really, playing a big role? And actually, what do you see as the role of the insurtechs in bringing out more and more such innovations, customer first innovations into this market?
So first, I think this kind of a product wouldn't have been possible without technology. The core of this product is mobile telematics. So I think the technology has made it possible for us to think of products which kind of go along with the customer every step of the way, which gives the customer that power and control, which gives the customer a platform for engagement. So mobile telematics is a great platform, and some of the things, driving behavior is just one thing. Mobile telematics can enable things like how give you cues around fuel efficiency, vehicle hygiene. With the mobile telematics platform, we are able to enable emergency services. We can enable, if there is a sort of jerk, we can immediately call out the customer and check if the customer, so that the possibilities are immense. And none of this would have been possible without technology. And within that, I think the role that insurtechs play is very, very important, because, as insurers we are full stack insurers. And I genuinely believe it's impossible to be extremely good at everything. So, if insurtechs take up parts of that entire value chain and build a value proposition for customers, for insurers, where insurers and insurtechs, in full stack insurtechs also can collaborate. So I think insurtechs have a front side role I would say driving role in propelling innovation in this space.
Shanai, thank you so much for these insightful, comments. Edelweiss General, talking to you, I feel I've been talking to an insurtech company and not an insurer, which is great news, for IIA and the community members. And that is where I would like to ask, what is your message for IIA and the IIA members?
So first of all, I think it's a great association. You hear a lot of fintech and this, that, and the other, and insurtech is sometimes a little bit ignored, but insurtech in itself deserves its place in the sun. So I think, first of all, I would like to congratulate you for making this association and creating a platform for insurtechs and generally insurers who are driven digitally or technology driven insurers, or even otherwise, create a platform to exchange ideas, to collaborate. So congratulations on that. And I think this is the only insurtech platform of its kind that I know of in India. So the possibilities, like I said, are immense, and it's a great platform to bring together different stakeholders in the insurance industry and show to them the impact that technology can make in transforming the industry.
Super encouraging, Shanai, and this I think would really get our members charged up, and I'm sure a lot of them would come running to you to talk about some of their innovations and best practices, and probably maybe some kind of alignment. Yes. So yes, that's all that we have time for today. So that brings us to the end of this beautiful podcast with Shanai Ghosh from Edelweiss General. Bye bye.
Thank